Hello everyone, this is Yvonne from Klipfolio Support. Today I am going to show you how you can filter your data by typing a search word into a text box. What you are seeing currently on my screen is the finished product. This clip has been brought in using our Google Drive connector. As you can see, it is a very simple data set. It has a list of names in column A and a list of associated values in column B. So let's get started. We need to select the Create a Clip button from the About This Data Source page. This brings us into the clip editor where we will build our clip. The first thing we need to do here is drag in a user input control component from the components list. Now we will configure the user input control component to use it as a text box. Let's start by typing an instruction that lets the user know what to do. Now we will select the control type. For our control type it will be text field, but you can see that there are other control types on the list which you might have used before. Create a variable that we will use for this text box by clicking New Variable. The variable name that we'll use today is Find, and we will give it a default value of Yvonne. The default value will be used to test our variable while we're building the clip. We will also change the scope from only this dashboard to only this clip. This means that the variable that we created will only be used in this clip. Next, select the table component, which is the first on our component list, and then select the columns from your data source that you want to appear in the table. The first one will be our column A that contains our text, and the second one will be column B that contains our values. We can name our columns through the Properties panel. And why don't we also choose a results row for our values column of sum. We will delete the other two columns because they are not needed. The next part is key because now we're going to associate the text box, the variable that we created earlier, with the text data in our data source. To do this, we're going to select the column name and then the three vertical dots, and then the word filter, and then the word condition. What we want to do here is we want to select a condition where it matches our variable name, which is find. Now if you have problems at this part here when you find that your clip doesn't work, change it to contains, because it will depend on how your text is coming in on the data source. Then we can click filter. Notice that we already have results coming into our clip, which is being created by that default value that we set for the variable. Now, Klipfolio performs a text search each time you type a character into the text box. As you can imagine, this can slow down performance. So to overcome this, you might want to add the button component to this clip. This means the search will not happen until after the button is clicked. So let's do that now. In the Properties panel of the button, you can override the default colors. So if we wanted to make this button more visible, we could select a different color for the button. Next, we need to associate the button with the user input control component. And to do this, we will select user input control And in the properties field where it says set value, we will select on button press. This creates another field in the properties panel which we will select button. This completes the setup of our clip. So let's now save it. Give it a name. And now we're going to share it with the rest of our team. We can now add it to a dashboard. And test the clip to make sure it's functioning correctly. So let's type in the word Yvonne, which is the same content that we saw in the clip editor. Click submit. We have to click the submit button in order for it to go and search for those names. So this looks correct and it's given us a results row. Let's type in a different name. And this looks correct as well. Awesome. So this completes the setup of our clip. This ends our video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy dashboarding!